Welcome students of class 8. I am Varsha ma'am, your science expert, and today we will continue our video 2 of chapter 9 metals and non-metals from the book Wow Science. So, in our last video we discussed about classification of elements that was categorized into metals and non-metals. This classification was given by the scientist Antoine Laurent Lavoisier. Then, after that, we discussed about the occurrence of metals, that how metals are abundantly found in the Earth's crust. The most abundant metal to be found is aluminium, and the second most abundant metal is iron. Then we discussed about their reactivities, that how on the basis of reactivity metals are classified into highly reactive metals and lesser reactive metals. Then we discussed metallurgy, which is the process in which purest form of metal can be extracted by 3 steps. The first step is concentration of ore, in which impurities are removed. The second step was reduction, in which metal ore is reduced into a free state, and the third step is refining of metal, in which impure metal is purified. So, the next topic we are going to discuss is the physical properties of metals and non-metals. Physical properties include physical state, color, luster, hardness, malleability, ductility, sonority, thermal conductivity, and melting and boiling point. Now, let's understand the physical property in detail. So, the first property is the physical state of metal and non-metal. So, physical state means solid, liquid, or gas. So, in case of metals, the physical state of metals are solids, example iron, aluminium, but we have one exception, that mercury, being a metal, is liquid at room temperature. Then we have physical state of non-metal. So non-metals can either be solids or gases. For example, oxygen. And here also we have an exception, that bromine, being a non-metal, is liquid. So we have done with the physical state. Then the second property we have is the color of metals or non-metals. So, metals can be silver grey or white in color. But the exception we have is gold, which is a metal and it is of yellow color. Same with copper, which is a metal and it does not have any white or grey color, rather it have reddish brown color. And in case of non-metals, some are colorless and some are colored. For example, oxygen and nitrogen. They are non-metals and they are colorless. But chlorine, it is greenish yellow, which is an exception. Now, the next property we are going to discuss is the luster. Luster means shining in appearance. So, metals are lustrous. For example, gold, silver, platinum. So, because of the lustrous properties of metals, they are used in making jewelries. Then we have the lustrous properties of non-metals. So non-metals are not lustrous, but again we have an exception, that graphite and iodine are lustrous. So graphite, being a non-metal, is lustrous, and iodine also, being a non-metal, is lustrous in nature. Now we have our fourth property, which is the hardness. So, in case of metals, they are very hard and strong. For example, iron, aluminium, and here also we have an exception, that sodium and potassium, being metals, they are very soft and can easily cut with knife. And in case of non-metals, they are very soft. And here also we have an exception, that diamond, being a non-metal, is very hard. So now the next property we are going to discuss is the malleability. So the term malleability means that it is the process by which metal can be beaten into thin sheets. So metals, they are malleable For example, aluminium foils, silver foils. So here we can see that aluminium foil is malleable in nature. Then in case of non-metals, they are not malleable and they can also be easily broken. So the property by which substance can easily broken, it is known as the brittleness. So now the next property we are going to discuss is the ductility. So ductility means it is the process when the substance is beaten into wires. So in case of metals, they are ductile. For example, gold and copper. So copper wires, they are ductile in nature. Then in case of non-metals, they are non-ductiles. So that's all for today, and the other properties we are going to discuss in the next video. So these are your in-between questions. Learn and copy down in your notebooks. Stay home, stay safe and keep learning. Thank you.